Howard Marks is not only a great investor running Oaktree Capital Management, but he's also an incredible teacher. He writes a number of memos a year in which he comments on current events, but mainly explains his investment strategy and goals. You can read them or listen to them in a form of a podcast, and I couldn't recommend it more. Just listen to them and you will never look at investing the same way again. Okay, so today we are going to look at his portfolio and we will analyze the history of his biggest investments. And that way we may learn a bit about his way of investing. He manages in his US portfolio over $7.2 billion and he owns over 170 stocks. So, of course, we will not cover all of them, but instead we will take a closer look at the top 10 investments. And they are Torm, Chesapeake Energy, Vistra Corp, Star Bulk Carriers, Sitio Royalties, Runway Growth Finance Corporation, Infinera Corporation, Eagle Bulk Shipping, Alvotech, SunOpta, and other 161 investments. Okay, so first up is SunOpta Incorporated. It makes up 2.19% of his portfolio, and last quarter he did not make any changes to this position. It is a multinational food and mineral company. Its plant-based beverages include soy milk, almond milk, and oat milk. And the company produces these beverages for retailers as well as branded food companies. Howard Marks bought his first shares of this company at the beginning of 2017 when the price was around $7. And he doubled his investment a year later at around the same price. And many years later, in Q1 2021, when the price was around $14, he more than doubled his investment again. And since then, we don't see any changes to this position. So it seems that he really believes that this is a great company even at higher prices. But right now, he's probably a little bit in the red. Next up is Alvotech. It makes up 2.26% of his portfolio, and last quarter he added 101% to this position. This company operates as a specialty biopharmaceutical company. The company focuses on development and manufacturing of high-quality biosimilar medicines. This is a fairly new investment for Marks. He bought his first shares in Q2 2022 for around $8. And last quarter, he doubled that with a price closer to $12. So it is such a new investment that we really can't make any conclusions at this point. We will just have to wait and see how this story will unfold. Next, we have Eagle Bulk Shipping. It makes up 2.36% of his portfolio, and last quarter he did not make any changes to this position. It is a US-based ship owner and operator engaged in a global transportation of dry bulk commodities. This is an interesting one because we see a change in the perception. He bought this stock in Q4 2014 and that quarter ended with a price of around $102. And 2 years later, it was at around $3. But he did not take the losses. He waited and eventually the stock went up to around $50 and then he sold almost 90% of his investment. But then, in Q4 2018, the price was close to $30 and he changed his mind and invested in it again. This time on a much bigger scale. And since then, he made small corrections here or there, but he basically is holding it even though the price is closer to $50. Next up is Infinera. It makes up 2.68% of his portfolio, and last quarter he did not make any changes to this position. The company sells hardware and software networking options for internet content providers, cable operators, government, and enterprise networks. He bought his first shares of this company in Q4 2018 for around $4. And since then, he only made one change to this position. He added to it in Q1 2020 when the price was around $5. Right now, we are closer to $8, so this is a very nice investment so far. Next position in his portfolio is Runway Growth Finance Corporation. It makes up 3.5% of his portfolio, and last quarter he did not make any changes to this position. It is a closed-end investment fund. It is focused on providing flexible capital solutions to companies seeking an alternative to raising equity. Marks bought his first shares in Q4 2021 for around $12, and he added a little bit in the next quarter. And since then, we don't see any movement here. The price did not change a lot since then, so we can't really say was it a good investment or not. But what is interesting is that exactly when he bought the shares, the company started its dividend program. So every quarter he is getting a dividend, and it is a very big one. The dividend yield is currently at 12.5%. So maybe there was a reason for investing. Okay, next up is Sitio Royalties Corporation. It makes up 4.01% of his portfolio, and last quarter he did not make any changes to this position. The company acquires, owns and manages oil and gas, mineral and royalty interests operated by exploration and production companies. So basically they have a share in the profits from extracting oil and gas. It is also a very new investment for Marks. He bought it in Q4 2022. And also here he gets a very nice dividend. The yield is 9.6% at the current time. Now let's take a look at Star Bulk Carriers. It makes up 7.55% of his portfolio, and last quarter he did not make any changes to this position. Star Bulk Carriers Corporation is a Greece-based global shipping company. It owns and operates a fleet of dry bulk carrier vessels. This is a much older investment. He bought his first shares in Q3 2013 for around $10. And when the price went down to almost $3, he really made this investment a significant one. He held it for around a year, and when the price was again around $3, he sold. So he most probably didn't lose money on this investment, but for some reason decided to move the money somewhere else. And since then, he basically held it with some small movements here and there. And when the price got to over $20, he sold some of his shares, probably making a small profit, and since then he's just taking the dividends. And also here they are exceptionally big, with 20.8% dividend yield at the current time. His third biggest investment is Vistra. It makes up 7.65% of his portfolio, and last quarter he reduced this position by 8.55%. This company is the largest competitive power generator in the United States. Its portfolio includes natural gas, nuclear, solar, and battery energy storage facilities. Marks bought his first shares in Q2 2017 for around $16. When the price got to around $20, he started to sell and most probably got to a point where he got his money back, and he still owns a substantial amount of shares. His second biggest investment is Chesapeake Energy. It makes up 8.95% of his portfolio, and last quarter he reduced this position, but only by 0.58%. It is an American oil and gas exploration and production company. He bought it in Q1 2021 for around $43. Since then, the price went up quite nicely and he is slowly selling the stock almost every quarter. And his biggest position is Torm. It makes up 22.7% of his portfolio, and last quarter he did not make any changes to this position. It is yet another shipping company that owns and operates product tankers. The company's ships carry refined oil products such as gasoline, jet fuel, naphtha, and diesel oil. He bought his first shares in Q2 2018 for around $7, and the price did not change much for many years. But he did not only keep the stock, but actually slowly made it even a bigger investment. And in the last year, the price just took off, and it is currently around $25 per share. And also this company is paying currently a very nice dividend with a dividend yield of 25.1%. So this is the US stock portfolio run by Howard Marks. The thing that really stood out for me is the fact that he owns a lot of shipping companies, so companies that work in the background and make the world go around, as well as a number of energy and oil companies, so another essential sector for the world economy. It also seems that he likes companies that can pay him a nice dividend, even if it's not a regular one, but rather dependent on the results of the company. And the companies don't have to be well-known household names, but he wants them to be essential for a certain sector. And what is probably even more important is that they don't have to be the best companies, because Howard Marks believes that if the price is right, even a weak business can be a great investment. He gives an example of a person coming up to you and asking, "Do you want to buy my car?" What is the first thing you would ask? How much? Because even if the car is in bad condition, if you get it for $1, it will still be a great investment. And if you like this video, then maybe you should take a look at Seth Klarman's portfolio by clicking here. Or if you prefer to learn a bit about Thomas Russo and his portfolio, then click here. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.